There's a little thing going on in a country called Iraq, which is not my favourite war. My favourite war is... oh, so many. They're good for different reasons. Falklands. That's probably the Falklands, because we won that one. And it was great. It was against Argentina. Yeah, weird. We're going to war with Argentina. All right, okay, fair enough, yeah. But the reason it's my favourite war is that it was a range war. And what that means is the Argentine guns could fire 9 kilometres. The British guns could fire 17 kilometres. So we just parked our ships 10 kilometres away, and theirs were falling into the sea, and we were shelling the shit out of them. It's the war equivalent of holding a midget at arm's length. And he's flailing, and you're just kicking him in the bollocks like that. Vietnam, best soundtrack. Second World War, best ending. That had to be the end. That was a great finale. You couldn't follow that, could you? People are worried about that. They go, oh, atomic energy. Oh, it's bad. The effects are still being felt today. But, oh, it ended a war. And that's good. And it was discovered by Einstein. And he's a genius. And in his 1903 paper, he said that light could be described as discrete bundles of energies that when irradiated onto an unstable... What maniac thinks like that? Really? I'm not a doctor, but I think that's what turned Stephen Hawking's mad, too much thinking. Do you know what I mean? The universe is expanding. Of course it is, Stephen. Yeah, of course it is, yeah. Jeez. Take a day off, go for a walk. Not a walk, but I mean, just... No. Open a window. Watch a bit of TV. Robot Wars is on. You love that, don't you? Greatest mind on the planet. People say, oh, we shouldn't have a go at Stephen Hawking. Oh, he's a genius. He's not a genius. He's pretentious. Born in Oxford and talks with that fake American accent. He is actually a hero of mine. Not my greatest hero. My greatest hero is Nelson Mandela. What a man, isn't he? He's an incredible man. Incarcerated for 25 years. He was released in 1990. He's been out about 18 years now. And he hasn't reoffended. I think he's going straight. Which shows you prison does work. I learnt a lot last year about one of your great American heroes, Rosa Parks. It was the 200-year celebration of the abolition of slavery in Britain last year. We were a bit ahead of you on that. But well done. Well done. But the abolition of slavery wasn't the end of racism. Racism was still inherent in society as late as the 50s and 60s in England and America. And it was this one incident that sparked off the civil rights movement. A young black woman called Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white person on a bus. It was the law, but she'd had enough. And she was arrested for that. But then that law was changed. But she didn't stop there. She started sitting in those seats meant for disabled people. She talked to the driver when the bus was in motion. Did she have the correct change ready? Did she, bollocks? Oh, some people. Cheers. But again, that's what the world is like. People take everything personally. I think the world revolves around them, right? Particularly on Twitter, right? I don't know, I'm not tweeting anyone, I'm just tweeting, okay? I don't know who's following me. I've got 12 million followers. I don't know who's following me. They can be following me without me knowing, right? Choose to read my tweet and then take that personally. That's like going into a town square, seeing a big notice board, and there's a notice, guitar lessons, and you go, but I don't fucking want guitar lessons.
bastards. There's a number here. All right, call that, right? Are you giving me guitar lessons? Yeah. I don't fucking want any. Fine, it's not for you then. Just walk away. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if you're affected by the volcanic ash cloud, but I had friends that were stuck all over the world and they missed weddings and funerals and they had to put themselves up in a hotel for extra days that they hadn't budgeted for, and they couldn't get their money back because the airlines were saying, no, we can't pay you because the insurance companies won't pay us because they're saying it's an act of God. Well, what isn't an act of God? No, if you believe in God, that's sort of a definition of him, isn't it? That he does everything. Isn't that right? Everything is an act of him. He's all-powerful. He's everywhere at once. He invented everything. There was nothing before him. He invented time, everything. He's across it all, okay? He doesn't miss a trick, and he's not absent-minded. A volcano going off isn't like him going, fuck, I left the oven on. You know, it's... And who are these insurance companies that can decide what is and isn't an act of God? How do they know, okay? Have they got a hotline to God? They call him up, do they? Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Could I speak to God, please? Speaking. Oh, I didn't think you'd answer the phone yourself. What do you want? Oh, that volcanic ash cloud. Was that you? Yeah. Yes, that was an act of me, all right. So I shouldn't pay out. No, don't fucking pay him a penny, son. No. Brilliant, brilliant. While I've got you here, did you make a tree fall on Steve Baxter's car? There's a lot of Steve Baxters. Steve Baxter, 2 Acacia Road, Hounslow. It happened at 2:15 on the 3rd of June this year. 2:15, 3rd of June. No, that wasn't me. I was in Africa that day giving AIDS to babies. He does everything. He does everything. I have never worked out the moral to Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. All I can think is, don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. But again, how is that applicable to a 5-year-old human? I mean, you tell that to a group of 5, so don't sit on a wall if you're an egg. Well, what do you mean if I'm an egg? I'm not an egg. It doesn't make sense. If I'm an, none of us are eggs. If there was an egg there, it wouldn't make sense. Because you go to the egg, don't sit on a wall. You go, I'm an egg, I can't eat, I've got nothing. I've got no ears, no eyes, I don't know what the fuck. What? Don't sit on a wall. I can't fucking hear, I've got nothing. This is, I'm in nothingness. I can't fucking climb walls for a start, so... Don't send horses to perform medical procedures. Of course they couldn't put him together again. They've got no dexterity whatsoever. They can't sew to save their life. They've got no thumbs. They're unopposable thumbs. Don't send a horse. It's delicate. An egg? We've got a cracked egg. Should we send a horse? Definitely not. Have you got a doctor or someone who works for Fabergé? Don't. We've got like a half-a-ton creature with no fingers. No. Don't send that. Got a 4-legged thing with like that. No chance. They can't. Couldn't put on. They couldn't scrub up. They can't. Imagine there's an egg, delicate egg. Horse comes over. Fucked. It couldn't. They wouldn't even think of. Fucked. That's it. They wouldn't even see it. They go over there. What? Fucked. That's it. Wouldn't even. You couldn't explain it to it. Don't send. It's ridiculous. If I had to design the perfect egg-crushing device, it would be a hoof. I need this. As a cracked egg, I need it crushing completely. Hoof. The hoof's great. Don't send doesn't matter whether they're the king's horses or not. Certainly don't send all of them. That's going to be chaos. If there was one horse with a little bit of nous, he did like 1 year before he got kicked out of Harvard. I'd know the rudimentaries. They all fuck it off, for fuck's sake. No lads, don't, they're fucking all over it. Fucked. It's definitely fucked now. What if we'd have invaded by France that day? And bloke comes running up the hill and goes, are you in charge of all the king's horses? All the king's men? Yep. French are coming. What? The French are coming. Where are all the king's horses? I sent them to mend an egg. You dopey cunt. What do you mean you sent them to mend a fucking egg? Oh. If your surname is Dumpty, don't call your firstborn Humpty. What sort of a stigma is that? For a kid that's already an egg? Could have the piss ripped out of him. I bet he jumped off the wall. We've come a long way from it being punishable to total equality, as it should be, of course. In England, the age of consent, same as heterosexuality now, 16, and even gay marriage. Although, ironically, the one place that was really ahead of the game fell behind a little at the last election, California. They had a referendum, they put it to the vote, and they voted no to gay marriage. I mean, in California, there's people going, that's why we moved here. I mean, it's a strange sort of bigotry that you can affect someone else's lifestyle that doesn't affect you back. It's not like they asked a bloke once, said, sorry, do you mind if these two men get married? He went, no, fine, okay, jack them off then. What? I didn't know that was... That doesn't happen, does it? That doesn't happen. It's also a strange sort of bigotry because these people that object to that were presumably the same people that said, you know, gay people were immoral and promiscuous, but now they don't want to be monogamous and respectful in the eyes of God. And it must be so confusing to a gay guy in California thinking, that's the bit they don't like. With all the other shit we get up to, it's the marriage bit. They're just so confused. They must go to judges and go, sorry, can I get the rules straight? What do you want to know? I just need to know what we can and can't do. Ask away. Can I marry a man? No. Can I fuck him up the arse and give him a little reach round? Please. Can't marry him? No. But and a little. Can I pick up a stranger in the bushes and take him home and jizz on him and throw him out in the morning all crusty and homeless? Of course you can, yeah. But I couldn't marry him, no. No, and don't ask again. Could I line up 15 men? I'm just riffing here. Could I line up 15 men and just jack them off? For a laugh. If you want, yeah. Yeah. It would be difficult, wouldn't it? Jacking off 15 men at once. It would be like plate spinning. Wouldn't it? No. Because you could only do two at once, really, so you'd have these two ready to blow, but then they'd be losing it, and you'd go, fucking hell. Oh, here we go. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Ain't it knackering? Jacking off 15 men at once. Never thought I'd say that. Oh. Again. No. He was the ringleader. Old Adolf. That name's died out, hasn't it? He killed that dead, didn't he? No one's calling their kid Adolf nowadays. No little Adolfs going to school. Loads of Brads and Angelinas, but no, look, you don't hear the teacher doing the register. Brad here, Angelina here, Adolf here. I do that quick so no one can take a picture of me doing that. No, but people make excuses for him. People say, oh, he was stupid, he was easily led, he didn't mean that. What do you mean he didn't mean that? They say, oh no, he was influenced by the political philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Because Nietzsche wrote this paper talking about a Superman. He said, not all men are born equal. And Hitler misinterpreted this and went way too far with it. And Think of that. You're a great scholar. You've done this work, and you get a call from the Führer. And the Führer goes, all right, Nietzsche. He goes, yeah, good, what do you want? He goes, just read your book. What do you think? Love it. Love all that. Man and Superman, not everyone's equal, kill all the Jews. Sorry? Not everyone's equal, so kill all the Jews. I didn't write that. I read between the lines. I didn't mean that. That's terrible. You haven't been killing... You haven't been killing Jewish people, have you? What? Have you been killing Jewish people? Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. A few. How many? 6 million. 6 million? That's all. I won't do any more. Leave it at 6. That's terrible. I won't do any more. Stay for dinner? Well, I will, but be careful in future. I will. Are you writing any other books? Well, I am, but I'm scared to tell you about it. I won't do anything. What's your new book called? My new book is called The Gypsies. Do we need them? But it's these people that say being gay isn't natural. Well, it is natural, and I've got a book to prove it. Homosexuality occurs in about the same incidents in the animal kingdom as it does in human society. This is a real book. It's called Biological Exuberance, Animal Homosexuality and Natural Diversity by Bruce Bagamill, okay? The evidence is compelling, and it seems there is virtually no species which does not have its gay community. That doesn't mean like chimps on one particular street wearing leather caps and stuff. It's... they sort of spread it out more, really. This is a real book. Can we have the first slide, please? Right, okay. Right. This is a real book, okay? Right? Absolutely real, okay? 2 male stump-tail macaques in mutual fellatio. They're sharing it around. Next slide. Okay. A male squirrel monkey, right, performing a genital display toward another male. He's just going, what do you think of that? And this one's going, what? Suck it. Look at his little hand. Why? Because we're gay. I'm not, you fucking are. Look at the way he's holding him, and he's got his leg up for extra purchase. He's gone, get in there, get in there, get in there. Look at him. Can you imagine my face when I discovered this book? Next slide, please. Okay. A female Olympic marmot mounting another female. Now, I don't know what is in that for either of them. Unless the one on top is wearing a strap-on dildo. One more slide. Oh, this is a doozy. Okay. 2 forms of copulation between male dolphins. Genital slit or anal penetration above, and below, blowhole penetration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, he is fucking him in the head. It's in the head. He's fucking him in the head, ladies. I have never seen that on any wildlife documentary. Why have I never seen that before? Why are they doing that? Maybe it's not in the wild. Maybe it's in SeaWorld, which is like their prison. And they're going, fuck's sake. They put in 2 males. Some people think we're fish. We might as well fucking do it, okay? I mean, look at his face. He's going, Dave. What? Could we not do it up the arse like them? No. It's in the head or nothing. Dave, what? What? Dave, I love you. But I can't fucking breathe. That is a real book. That is a real book. Can we have it? Look. I love the fact that he found like a turkey in drag to show how gay animals can be. The gayest animal in the world. I was talking earlier about trying to educate myself, and that is true. And I think, you know, the internet is probably the greatest resource of information the world has ever seen. It's amazing. And online encyclopedias that you can go into and change. You can't do that in a library, can you, really? You can't just get down the encyclopedia and go, what are you doing, mate? Just changing a bit. Fuck off. There's loads of websites just clogging up the internet by people, they're doing websites about themselves. It's like, my name is Rupert, this is my cat, I like The Cure. Who gives a fuck? And the trivia sites, where just people just load up things they've learned. And I just think, what, do they wake up in a cold sweat and go, I've got to tell the world this. The peanut is not a nut, it's a legume. But my favourite are the animal facts. The animal facts are just, I think, incredible. This is from a website called Deb and Jen's World of Knowledge, okay? And I want you to think about the people who put this up, okay? They're not just the fact, but who did it and why they did it. What were they thinking? Okay. Number 1, you can lead a cow upstairs, but not down. Thanks very much. I looked into that, it's true. A cow will go upstairs, but they won't go downstairs because the way their joints don't oppose. But I think of the poor bastard who found that out the hard way. Come on, Daisy, down you go. I don't go downstairs. Come on. No, I don't go downstairs, I'm away with joints. I don't care about your joints. My wife's coming home from work in 5 fucking minutes. Get down the stairs. You thought, yeah, I've got to tell other people about this. Number 2, stroking a spider can cause it to go bald. Thanks. 1, what sort of maniac goes around stroking spiders? Dracula's assistant, I don't know. 2, is that a problem in the arachnid world, premature balding? Do they worry about that much? I thought they'd be loving it, wouldn't they, being a skinhead? They're so fucking hard. Got all the legs, all the eyes and the teeth. Fuck it, I'm bald, who cares? Adds to it, I like it more. But no, apparently it's a big problem. You stroke a little spider, he goes, oh, fucking hell. He runs back to the web, and all the other spiders go, what are you wearing a baseball cap for? Fashion. Bit weird. Nah, it's just fashion. We'll take it off in the web. Nah, I'll just keep it on. Bit cold. Cold? We're in a cupboard under the sink. It's boiling. Nah, take it off. No, take it off. Oh. Have you been letting a human stroke you? Leave this fucking web. Number 3. Polar bears will sometimes cover their black nose during a hunt to camouflage themselves more completely. It's a good idea, isn't it? Because apart from the old nose, are perfectly camouflaged. They're white, the snow's white. So they're sneaking up on a little Arctic hare. And they get there, and the Arctic hare, he turns round, the polar bear goes... But how did they find that out? Because that's behavioural. All the polar bears sitting around one night going, I'm starving. Every time I sneak up on a little hare, he looks round and then he hops off. It's like he can see me. I can't work it out. Little voice, little hare goes, I can tell you. Can you see us? Well, I can see where you are and how many there are of you. Really? How? You'll kick yourself. Now, go on. Tell us. Your nose is black. The nose is black. Oh. Cheers. Can you see us now? No? Thank you. My favourite fact. Okay. Number 4. Montana mountain goats will sometimes butt heads so hard that their hooves fall off. Can that be true? That's amazing. So there's 2 there. They're looking at a female goat. One goes, I like her. And the other goes, yeah, I'm probably going to mate with her. Well, no, I saw her first. That's not how it works. How does it work? We have to run at each other really hard and crack heads. Is that safe? Oh, yeah. Okay, go. Oh! Ow! Ow! Oh! Look! Yeah. Yours all right? Yeah. I grip on impact. Did you know about this? Why didn't you tell me? Mortal enemies? Never mind that, my fucking feet are falling off. One more amazing fact. Elephants have been caught swimming up to 2 miles off the coast in the Indian Ocean. That's amazing. I didn't know they liked to swim. I certainly didn't think they could swim 2 miles out to sea. But it's the language this person uses. Have been caught swimming. Like it's illegal. Says the Coast Guard. Morning. 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 Phone rings. Ring, ring. Hello. They're doing what? No, I'll be there. That's me in a little boat. I'm not jacking a bloke off behind me. I'm just... No. What are you doing? Nothing. It's not nothing, is it? What's that? Beach ball? Tell me what you're doing. Don't look at him. What, what are you doing? Swimming. Yeah, you are. Do you know how far off coast you are? 2 miles. Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know you're not meant to do this, don't you? Don't cry. But if you know you're not meant to do it, I've told you loads of times, why are you doing it again? I forgot. Famine is a problem. Which brings me to this next fad that we need to stamp out. This happened Christmas before last. Exchanging gifts with old friends, good friends, quite well-off friends, if I'm being honest. I got them a coffee-making machine from Harrods, top of the range. They loved it. They gave me my present. It was just an envelope. I thought, oh, what's this, vouchers? Open it up. It wasn't vouchers. It was just a card with a picture of a goat on it. And I said, what's this? They went, oh, our gift to you is we gave a goat to an African family. What? I'm looking at the coffee machine thinking, is it too late to take that back? Is it too... what is it? Oh, we gave a goat to an African family. Did you? Oh. So, I've got fuck all then, basically. I mean, I don't even know this African family. Why would I give them a goat? It doesn't matter. This serves no purpose at all. No, but this is no good for anyone. They're 50 quid down. I've got nothing. The African family's going, not another mouth to feed. Right? The goat is going, where the fuck am I? This is shit. What? A week ago I was gambling around the Cotswolds. There was grass and tourists with nuts and... This is a fucking dust bowl. There's no way that goat wanted to go to Africa. It was basically... No, it was kidnapped. It was abducted. It was put in a sack and bundled on a boat to Africa. Like Roots in reverse. There was no way. They went, do you want to go to Africa? He went, definitely not. No. Oh, come on. Why didn't you want to go to Africa? Lions. Come on. Why didn't you want to go to Africa? AIDS. Well, that shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did. Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. So, yeah, remember that. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. So, lots of big celebrities here tonight. I mean, legends, icons, yeah? Look, at this table alone, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, but... Baby Yoda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci, sorry. I love you, man, don't have me whacked. But tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year... It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we've got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right. But seriously, most films are awful, lazy, remakes, sequels. I've heard a rumour that there might be a sequel to Sophie's Choice. I mean, that'd just be Meryl Streep going, well, it's got to be this one then. The Irishman was amazing. It was amazing. It was. It was great. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know. You're nearly 50, son. The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And the reviews, oh, shocking. I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs, right? But Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because she... I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg and licking her... Furball. She's old school. It's the last time, who cares?
Oh, you must wake up in the morning and say, thank God for my amazing things that are happening. And you said, why would I say thank God? I'm an atheist.
Right.
And it was the first time I'd heard the word atheist on kind of public radio.
Well, I mean, yeah, there shouldn't even be the word, should there? If people didn't invent gods, I wouldn't have to deny them. And it's just... But... It's like... I was told when I sort of started breaking America to not mention I was an atheist.
Really?
Oh, 'cause first thing I did. On every first thing I did. Why? What am I going to lose? Imagine not doing something because people hate you because of what you are. That's you know, that's my only thing I've got. I'm a white, rich, middle-class man, but at least I'm hated for being an atheist. Do you know what I mean?
And, have you
I'm oppressed. I'm oppressed in 13 countries I'd never go to anyway.
Have you seen a change in your, over the last, I don't know, 20 years or so, about how atheism is perceived?
Well, I mean, you sort of do it... there's part of me that does it because I think I should, that there is someone being persecuted now that might, you know... I can't change the world, but what I mean, maybe someone in a Western world that thinks they shouldn't come out because it's a bad thing, because it's still a bad thing in Western society. In America, they took a vote, America, right? Probably that big bit in the middle of America, but we were voted least trustworthy group, joint bottom with rapists. So there's still a thing about, I better not say I'm an atheist, it'll annoy my mum or dad or granddad or school. There's still that. So you do that. Some of it I do it as an intellectual pursuit, because someone asks me a question, I'd rather give the right answer than the wrong answer. I'd rather tell the truth than lie, because it's easier, you know. I think the big thing, people think I run into churches and go, it's all fucking bollocks. I don't care. You know, I don't... But if I'm asked if I believe in God, I'll say,
no. I mean, you know, the tricky one is I did a film called The Invention of Lying, where I did a scene where thank you, 7 people saw that film, where my mother in that is dying, and it's because I'm the only person in the society who can lie. She says, I don't want to go to nothingness, and I go, there's not nothingness. It's a beautiful place you go, and you're young again, and I invent heaven, right? And that comes from the fact that when my mum was dying, I did face a dilemma. If she'd have said, do you think there's a God? That's a personal thing, and that's you know. So I just try and be honest, really. And the other is, if someone else's kid, 5-year-old, asks me, do I believe in God? I sort of think, what should I say here? And I say, well, I don't, but a lot of people do. What do you think? You know, I try and there's still a level of diplomacy. It's not always my place. You know what I mean? I don't. But you know, my house, my rules. If someone asks me something on Twitter, I tell them the truth. It's, you know. And there's also this strange thing that I get from faithful people. Why don't you believe in God? Well, that's a very strange question. Why don't you believe in God? Well, you came up with it. Why would I? As to saying I don't know, well, if you're agnostic about God in all his glory and in all his impossibility, you've got to be the same about Santa. You have got to say, I don't know. I want to say to an agnostic, what's your best guess then? Go on, have a punt. In fact, I don't ask agnostic. I don't say to agnostics, is there a God? I say, do you believe in God? Now, you can't say I don't know to that question, because if you say I don't know, you're an idiot. What you don't know if you believe or not. And I had this discussion with someone on Twitter, actually, and he said, well, that's not true, because I can ask you, am I wearing a red jumper? And you have no way of informing your guess. And that's true. But now ask me if you're wearing a red jumper that created the universe. Now I can have a little guess. No. No, you are not. It's mental.
Well, also for you, because anyone who follows you on Twitter, and you have a huge following, they'll know that you are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. For me, as a good Irish Catholic boy, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
For me, it's the end of something glorious, so I have to pack it all in. But, you know, I'm not depressed about it. I don't want to die any more than anyone else. And I think there's this strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for.
You have more to live for.
We have everything to live for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would imagine you have a more focused attention to life because you think it ends when you die.
I think it's precious. I think it's beautiful. I think the world is amazing. I love people, animals, art, every hobby. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. My nan used to say that. She lived till 83. I think it was 40 years ago going, I'm not long for this world.
What are you said the things you like. What are the things that really annoy you?
Only 2 things really, really make my blood boil, I suppose. I suppose in general, as I get older, injustice. Injustice quietly makes my blood boil. Either personal, social, political, you know, personal. I suppose the two main categories are religious intolerance, this arrogance that you think, you know, arguing over whose God is right sort of gets me down a little bit, you know. And I've got no problem with spirituality. I really haven't. You know, that's another myth. And I always try and make the difference clear between spirituality and religion. One is a very personal feeling, a journey, a hope, or whatever, a need, you know, a joy. And the other is an organised body that uses that for power and corruption in many cases. In many cases. And you know, I don't have either, but I suppose I think that when it affects me, that's when I have a say in it. And religion affects me. Religion's very real. Spirituality, it doesn't really affect me.
I find it...
There's lots we don't know. but we don't jump to conclusions. We don't know everything about the brain, but that's not to say that everything about the brain is unknowable.
We rejoice in not knowing, not because we don't want to know, but because we've got something to work on.
Absolutely. That's why people do puzzles. It comes back to hobbies. You do a puzzle because you don't know the answer yet.
And scientists are doing puzzles trying to find out the answers to the nature of reality.
Absolutely. Of course, that's all we're doing. Science just tries to understand the world a bit more for its own ends.
And it's a wonderful process.
It's fantastic.
It's worth living for.
Because it should enhance mankind.
Yeah.
You know, this ridiculous thing about science coming up with the atomic bomb. I don't know what argument that is. No. That's evil. Well, no. This other one as well. How many times have you heard someone say, some idiot fundamentalist say, well, Hitler was atheist?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
There are good and bad atheists.
Yes.
There are good and bad people who believe in God.
Yeah.
But very few atheists kill in the name of atheism.
Exactly.
It's an irrelevance to me. I hate being labelled an atheist because it's not how I live my life. I don't live my life going around going, I'm an atheist, I'm an atheist.
No,
and
exactly.
There's billions of other aspects to my life, why I do things. It just, when God's brought into the equation, I don't take that on board. I don't do anything because of God's watching me, or because I feel God owns anything, or God's driving me. It's a strange word and it's a strange label.
It is. Hitler actually wasn't an atheist.
No, I know, he was a Catholic, wasn't he?
Yes. Stalin probably was an atheist, but neither of them did their good things or their bad things. Not they didn't.
Of course not.
Neither of them did their bad things because they believed or because they didn't believe in God.
No, of course not. It was irrelevant. I remember, what were you on? Were you on a show in America when someone said, well, Stalin and Hitler were both atheists, and I think you said, well, they both had moustaches as well.
Yes.
It's just as relevant. A totally irrelevant statistic. Yeah, in the greater scheme of things, there are probably worse things than people believing in all the different gods. It doesn't affect me because I'm free and liberated and safe. But yeah, you can still be annoyed. It's ignorance that annoys me more than anything. Whatever it is, it's not. I don't want to keep going after religion because that's only one form of this belligerent, willful, and it's not even that. It's you can't sort of help what you believe in. Most people aren't going around thinking this will annoy people or I'm trying to oppress people's rights. They just think I believe in God because that's how my brain worked when I was little, and now I think yeah, there's probably a God. And most religious people aren't crazy. It's something else. Again, it's something, you know. We worry about the people who believe the bad bits in their holy book as well as the good bits. Most nice people who believe in God, they can tell the difference. They know the nice bits. They cherry pick and they know the nice bits from the bad bits. They don't do the bad bits. And my point is, if you know the bad bits from the good bits, you don't need the holy book. You know, you're already a moral person.
I think it's very important you challenge your own beliefs. I mean that's what science does, really. It doesn't constantly try and prove itself right. It follows the evidence, whatever that is. In fact, it tries to prove itself wrong. It doesn't sulk. When science thinks something and then it discovers it was wrong, it doesn't sulk because it found that out too. It's the question I often get, that people say, well, you're an atheist, you know, you're closed-minded. Well, no, I'm not. You know, that's a strange thing to say. I think the opposite is true. I'm going to always follow the evidence, whatever that is. And they say things like, if someone proved to you God existed, would you believe? Well, of course I would, by definition. In fact, it would be the greatest scientific discovery of all time. Scientists would celebrate. They'd run round. At the moment, we have no evidence for the existence of any God or anything supernatural. Never have. Possibly never will. But who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. When someone puts forward a jar of God, we test it for its godliness. And if we find there's anything godly in it, we'll write it down. I think that's really important, and it comes back to the point we made earlier about ideas not having human rights, because I think people think when we criticise religion, we're criticising people who are religious, which couldn't be further from the truth, because we think they're victims too.
Absolutely.
You
I mean,
know.
the word Islamophobia is all about that.
Yeah.
People think that if you criticize Islam, you're criticizing Muslims. Quite the contrary, they're the primary victims of Islam.
Well, well, this is the other thing, that sometimes I say to Christians, why do you believe in that God? And they say, well, it's the only God to believe in. I went, yeah, but if you were born in Delhi, you wouldn't believe in that God, probably. If you were born in ancient Rome, you certainly wouldn't believe in that God. You know, but it is a thing there that they...
Yes, you believe in the God of your parents and your grandparents. Most people do.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, there's conversions, and there are many people that seek one. I don't know, they window shop. They go, what can you do for me? What do I have to do? Forget it. What do you do? I can still smoke and drink? I'll have that one. You know, of course. Yeah.
There are people who say, well, I was on a quest and I tried Buddhism and it was all right, but I thought maybe I'd try again, so I tried Hinduism.
I know, yeah. But which one spoke to you?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. And it should be irrelevant, but it isn't, because it does infringe on people's liberties. Certainly religion, not spirituality. You know, someone believing in God, that's fine.
Harmless.
Absolutely, doesn't bother me at all. Religion isn't harmless. It's when your God starts telling you that you should kill homosexuals, and
exactly.
That's when it's not harmless anymore.
I think religion's greatest trick wasn't convincing some people that there was a God who was all-powerful. It was convincing everyone else that you couldn't ridicule that idea. It's when you get them. I think there'd be more atheists and less faithful if you weren't allowed to teach anything, you weren't allowed to mention any gods or any beliefs or atheism, right, until they were 20. I think we'd see a different pattern. The human brain, when it's young, is a sponge. It has to be. It has to take in all the information. It has to trust its parents, its elders, to survive. Without question, don't touch the fire. Why not? Don't go near the wolf. Don't touch that spider with a red bit. Don't touch that. Why not? Just don't. There is a God. What? There is a God. And if you're bad, you go to hell. Okay? And if that's constantly confirmed, like all the other things, wolves eat you, black widows kill you, fires burn you, if it's given that same level of credence and truth, you're never going to get over it. It's going to be a lot harder to undo that. I think the myths came up, maybe, you know, often as a stopgap to knowledge until we find out more. You know, the earth is flat, and now we've proved now, okay, the earth's not flat, we were wrong, okay? But that's not personal. You don't take that personally. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your afterlife, you know? And so they often want to hold on to that, right? But only because of the way they've been conditioned. We know it's fun to tell children there's a Santa Claus, and there's fairies at the bottom of the garden, and all these cute things. It's cute till they're 7 or 8. If they're 34, it's a bit embarrassing socially. This is my son. What's he doing? He's looking for fairies. Is he? Okay, we better leave. If they say, well, he's always been around, well, let's just say the universe has then. Let's just cut out the middleman. It saves time.
It is.
Yes, if we accept that we don't know, if it's the default, we don't know, no one's come back from heaven, no one's proved it. You can't prove the non-existence of something, and why would you? The periodic table of non-existent things is infinite, you know. It's like... so if we accept that, that's a knowledge, that's a category of knowledge. But if you just say, what do you believe? You have to step up to the plate. You have to say what you believe. And if you don't believe in any God, right,
You're an atheist. That's the other misconception. People think that atheism is denying the existence of God, right? It's not. It's just not accepting the claim that there is a God. You know.
But if there were 3 doors, which says God exists, God doesn't exist, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
There's 3 doors. It says God exists, but doesn't exist, I don't know.
But you not knowing is irrelevant to where there is or isn't a God. Again, you've done a sleight of hand there on a category mistake, because 1 is knowledge and 2 are beliefs, right?
I haven't even finished my question.
No, what? No, there's always... I'm saying 3 is always there. If you had to choose one...
Yeah.
I believe there's a God. I don't believe there's a God. I don't know is irrelevant then, isn't it? I think they have to lump us in with, you know, agnostics, which, I keep trying to explain that on Twitter, that they're not mutually exclusive. You know, one deals with knowledge, one deals with belief. And so, you know, people say on Twitter to me, they go, it's illogical to be an atheist, you should be agnostic. And I say, well, I am as well. You know.
Don't agnostics get on your nerves a bit?
Well, no, because we're all agnostic, aren't we? We're all agnostic by definition. If we accept that no one knows knowledge, I'm being very diplomatic here, but if we accept that no one knows that there's a God or not, right? We might be wrong. We're 99% sure, you know. But let's say we don't know. We're all agnostic. So take it out of it doesn't matter. Now we ask about belief. What do you believe? What's your best bet?
But when someone says they're agnostic, isn't it sort of tempting to go, why don't you just think about it a bit more then? Because
Well, I just think that there's a yes, but there's a category mistake. Some people do it because they don't want to say they believe in God, you know. But if you shouldn't ask an agnostic if there's a God or not. You should ask them, do you believe there's a God or not? Because then they can't say I don't know, because that doesn't make sense. What do you mean? You don't know whether you believe or not, right? You know. So
well, that's right.
The handsome boy. Ricky, can I say something that you may hate?
Go on.
I think you should have a kid.
Right. Okay. In what way? Be a father or just have a kid? Go and get one?
No, I think you should have a family, because I've always thought about you and Simon Cowell. Whenever I read your interviews, I always think there's something missing. I think you make a great dad.
Me and Simon Cowell, if he's up for it.
Fred?
Do you hate that question?
No, I feel a sitcom coming on.
Yeah.
Ricky and Simon adopted a kid. Oh, Ricky, what are you doing? I'm bathing the baby, Simon. You don't bath it like that. It's already written. Good one.
Talking of sitcoms, you and Stephen Merchant are working on a new project. First there was The Office, then there was Extras. Tell us about the third one.
This one's called Life's Too Short, and it's sort of a fake documentary. It's about the life of Warwick Davis, who's a real person, but this is a twisted version of himself.
And he's a dwarf, right?
He is. Why bring that up?
No, I don't know. Chris is telling me he's about to...
I've got to do with it. Sorry, Warwick, if you're... He doesn't know he's a dwarf. He just thinks...
I feel awful now. Don't, Ricky.
No, we haven't told him. He just... no, he doesn't know.
Well...
Because he's blind as well. So no one's told him he's a dwarf. So now he knows.
Well, now he does know. Thursday was the night.
And it's about him having a sort of a bit of a midlife crisis, and his career's on the skid. So he's done this sort of reality show to try and get famous. And myself and Stephen play twisted versions of ourselves as well.
Well, good luck with that.
Got it.
Right then, today is Thanksgiving in the good old US of A.
God bless both of them. It's Thanksgiving today. Happy Thanksgiving. Karl's going to tell us what it's all about. Ricky, what are Karl's qualifications as some kind of international culture guru?
He hasn't got any.
Really?
You're going to
Seriously, I don't know why you got me on for this bit.
So you could plug your video.
Come on.
Yeah, that's out.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you're going to do this bit.
It's just a...
Before you do that, should we have a clip?
Yeah,
Let's
quickly.
have a clip of you by Christ in Rio. Here it is.
So come on, Karl, that was pretty good. You are the idiot abroad, you're now the idiot with the turkey. Tell us about Thanksgiving.
Can we show that turkey?
It
It looks lovely there, doesn't it? But look what they were facing us. That's the view that was facing us.
Is anyone doing this in this country? Would anyone be to blame?
Yeah.
There's some Americans over here, people who have American relatives. It's a big night for those guys.
But would they be watching this anyway
Yes,
then?
they
Or
will.
they be eating...
This is their pre-Thanksgiving show. They watch it every year.
Tell us about the origin, Karl.
I told you about this. I've got a podcast out called Thanksgiving, free on iTunes
Give
now.
us-
And I was telling you, The Wampanoag Indians.
I wouldn't worry. It's mainly, I mean, anything with Americans, they like eating.
Yeah.
So they tend to... No, I'm not having a go.
That's racist.
That's a fact. So
But they definitely have gone off the turkey now, because it looks like Arnie Nora from
Listen
that
to what they
angle.
eat. There's a thing that they eat called Duncan.
Right.
And what they do, they get a turkey, they shove a chicken in that, and shove a duck in that, and that's why it's a Duncan type thing.
Excellent. OK, round of applause for that one fascinating fact. Cheers, Karl.
Well, thanks to you both, and good luck with your DVD battle in the charts over Christmas.
Who's going to win the battle of the DVDs, guys?
Idiot Abroad. I think it's number 1 or 2 or something. I think only Top Gear's beating it. Top Gear? Who's still watching Top? Just turn Dave on. It's on every night.
All right. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, Karl, for being on the programme.